Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and today I'm sharing some super fun and festive ideas for packing the perfect Valentine's Day lunchbox for your kids, from heart-shaped treats to creative, fun-filled surprises. These ideas are sure to make their day extra special. Let's spread a little love, one lunchbox at a time, and let's get started. For the first lunchbox today, I am using the Omi lunchbox, and today's lunch is a DIY homemade Valentine's heart-themed Lunchable. I'm just using some naan for this one, and I'm using my heart-shaped cookie cutter. This is just an easy way to make these circles a little more festive and fun, and it only takes a second to create it. My daughter and all of her friends were really surprised and excited when they saw this lunch. I wish Lunchables would just come out with like a limited edition around Valentine's Day Lunchable where it already comes with the heart-shaped ones, but that's okay. We found a way to make it our own. And then in the Omi dip container here, I'm just going to be adding in some of this pizza sauce. It's important to have these little containers because they come with the lid so that the sauce doesn't get everywhere. And then I'm just adding some red cupcake liners and adding some mozzarella cheese to one of the silicone liners. And in the other one, I'm adding this boar's head turkey pepperoni. I love how this lunchbox has so many different sections so you can separate everything. To fit this final section, I'm just going to be adding in her drink, and this is the Honest Juice Box in the flavor Super Fruit Punch, of course, since it is red. To go with this lunchbox, I'm also throwing in this slim container that holds all of her utensils. This has the spoon, the fork, and the knife in there just so she could use the spoon to spread her pizza sauce. And since it's pink and it matches the theme, I added it in. And then, of course, we had to add a Valentine's Day themed napkin. For her treat today, she's getting the traditional Valentine's Day candy, which is the conversational hearts. Let me know down below, do you guys actually like conversation hearts or not? I feel like people either love them or hate them. Moving on to the next lunchbox. For this next lunchbox, we are going to be making a sandwich. This is a turkey sandwich, and I'm going to be cutting it out in a heart shape. Now, this is a smaller shaped heart cutter, so I'm going to be making 2 of the sandwiches, and I'm really going to pack them with the turkey lunch meat in them so that she does get full. Now, if you don't want to make this a turkey sandwich, you can always just add peanut butter and jelly and make like mini heart peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or ham or salami or whatever else that you want in here. But you want to take the 2 of the heart slices and flatten them with your hands. I also have a mini sandwich roller that I use as well to make it super paper thin flat. And this is just for 2 of the breads, and it's really going to help with the next step here. So I'm actually going to be stacking a lot of the turkey so that she gets full, and I was able to fit 3 heart cutouts out of this turkey. So I took 2, 1 for each sandwich, and then with the third one, I just kind of split it between the 2 just to make the sandwich a little bit thicker, add a little bit more protein for her so that she gets more full during her school day. Now, the reason that it's important to flatten the 2 pieces of bread is because for this next step, I have these edible ink markers, and when you use edible ink markers on bread, it doesn't turn out very pretty unless the bread is very flat so that it's easier to write on. As you can see, these letters came out really well and dark and clear. So that really helped because I flattened the bread first. So that's a little tip for you. So adding on these top pieces to make these mini bite-sized, they're a couple bites, sandwich. This is perfect for smaller kids. If you have a preschooler or maybe a kindergartner that's not a big eater, this lunch is perfect. And now I have these heart-shaped fruit skewers, and I'm just going to thread some of these raspberries through. My kids have really been into raspberries lately, so that worked out perfectly for these fruit skewers. And I went with a pink heart skewer and a red heart skewer. And then I'm also going to be adding in 1 more fruit. And for this one, I'm using a mango. This one we needed to use up, so I thought, let me make it into a heart shape. So I'm going to remove the skin and just use my heart-shaped cookie cutter to cut out a heart from the center of this mango. Mangoes are honestly so good when you get them at the perfect ripeness. They have to be perfectly sweet. And if you get it that way, it is so good. And then I'm adding in some baby bells, and I'm taking this really tiny mini itty bitty heart-shaped cookie cutter and just cutting it right out of the center of the baby bell, just on the outer part of it, making sure to not go through to the cheese. Now for her treat, I'm adding in these Haribo sweet and sour hearts. There is sour strawberry and sweet strawberry, which is just so cool. They look so squishy and so delicious. And I love that it's a mix of both sweet and sour. You kind of don't know which one you're going to get, and it's an awesome mix. Here's how her lunch turned out. Moving on to the next lunchbox. For this lunchbox, I'm going to be using a bagel. One of my daughters had mentioned to me that her friend brings a bagel for lunch like almost every day. So I thought, why don't I pack bagels? So I'm just adding some strawberry cream cheese to it since it is pink and it is Valentine's Day themed. I thought I'd add that one in. After adding in the top part of the bagel, I thought I would make a cute little face on the bagel. So I have these heart eyes that I'm just going to add on top. And then to create the smile, I'm using my edible ink markers that you saw me use previously, just to create a mouth on it. And then I'm using the pink edible ink marker to go over the heart cookie cutter for the really small heart. And I thought I would do it on the sides of the bagel, just kind of as like heart-shaped cheeks or blush on it. I thought it would look super cute that way, but I just kind of stamped it and then I went over it with my edible ink marker to darken it and so that you can see the cheeks a little bit more. And now I'm going in with my Valentine's Day cupcake liner and doing my favorite trick, which is just turning it inside out so you can see the print more. On the side here, I'm adding some plain Greek yogurt. I like this one because it has 18 grams of protein. Since this meal did not have much protein, I thought it would be great to add that in. And then I also have these Valentine's Day mini heart sprinkles that I grabbed from Target. I'm just going to add a few on top to make it a little more festive and fun. And of course, you have to add strawberries for Valentine's Day. And I've seen many people create like a heart shape with their strawberries. They just cut like a triangular shape off of the stem and it creates like a heart. I'm not too sure how this works exactly, but I thought that I would try it. It kind of looks like it, and then you're supposed to cut it down the middle to create like two separate strawberries. It kind of worked. It's not a perfectly shaped heart, but it's okay, and I guess it's a quick hack, and it's perfect if you don't have a heart-shaped cookie cutter. It looks kind of cute. Not perfect, but cute. So I'm going to go ahead and add them in. Next up, we have to add a treat to this, of course, and I'm adding in these frosted animal crackers. I'm not really a big fan of these, but my husband is and my kids are, so I saw the Valentine's edition and I thought I'd add them in, and they fit perfectly in this little section. The lunchbox that I'm using here is the Yum Box, and as always, I will leave everything that you see in my videos linked down in the description box. So if you've been wanting to get like the edible ink markers or the heart cutter or any of these lunch boxes or many other things, you can find them all in the description box below. Moving on into the next lunchbox. For this one, I am making kind of like a DIY homemade heart-shaped Valentine's Day Uncrustable. I found this little gadget on Amazon, and I will also have that one linked for you down below. For this, I'm using sugar-free jelly, which is something we've really been into lately. I wasn't sure if we'd like it because sometimes with sugar-free, it leaves like a weird aftertaste. So we don't always like sugar-free, but this one had no aftertaste. It was really, really good, and it's going to be the only one I buy going forward. But I added some peanut butter and some jelly, making sure to not add any to the edges of the bread so that it seals when you close it and it creates that heart and the bread can stick together without any wetness that'll keep it open and leaking. So just make sure if you make this that you don't put any on the edges of the bread where it seals here. And it turned out super, super cute. Again, I don't know why Uncrustable doesn't make a heart-shaped one just for a limited edition time for Valentine's Day, but that's okay. We created our own. And then I also added a heart-shaped cupcake liner, and here are these Valentine's X's and O's shaped pretzels. And then for her drink, she's getting this berry lemonade by Honest because it was pink, so it fit the theme. Adding in some cupcake liners and some red tomatoes. Lastly, adding these Twizzler hearts. This is the Valentine's Day edition, the hearts, and this is in the cherry flavor. I didn't see these at the store last year, so I don't know if these are new or not, but when I saw them, I grabbed them because I absolutely love Twizzlers and I wasn't expecting them to be this mini. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.